What is good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back, and we're talking here match preview for the game against Sheffield Wednesday, and we're also going to talk some transfer talk, especially with a link that really intrigued me. One that would be a statement signing for Leeds United at this level, and we're going to get into that a bit later on. Also going to speak about our impending transfer, and I think that one is probably going to be announced today. Probably too late for the game against Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow, but it looks like everything is in order. Before we get into it, please hit a like on the video. Drop your comments below and subscribe. Well, it worked for Cristiano Ronaldo. Let it work for me. You know what I mean? Look, all those millions of subscribers. So there you go. Subscribe. And shout out to Mr. P, Malcolm Patrick, Russ, and William Morrison for the super thanks on the last few videos. Much appreciated, my guys. Thank you to all existing members. The membership link is in the description or is next to the subscribe button called join. And I appreciate all my members for their support, man. Chris saying greetings from all and hot sunny Greece. Shout out to you, Chris. I hope you're enjoying your holidays, or if you live there, however it is. Yeah. Pick her up. Yep. I'm going to get into that. Yep. I'm going to get into that. What's it? Bobby here saying Sallai would be a proper statement signing. He would. But listen, let me get into the news, and let me just clarify something as well. As we know, I mean, this one is pretty much done. Largely, Ramazani is here, and just for a little bit of further proof, let me just get the picture up. I think it's his brother. I think his brother kind of released this picture, but it's since been deleted off his IG. But this is him, obviously doing medical, doing media. So the announcement is ready to be done. This one is signed. It's all done and dusted. But I think it will be too late. So there is Ramazani in the building. Just want to clarify from something I said yesterday in regard to him being a defensive winger, because I think that came across a little bit wrong. What I was meaning to say, and what I meant was that he does his defensive work in comparison to Jonathan Rowe and Morgan Whittaker, who we've been previously linked to. He's far more efficient on the defensive side. Yes, he's good for a card or two, as we know. But I think he will channel that. And the difference as well is that he will be attacking more in this Leeds United team, because we're one of the better teams in the league. Whereas at Almeria, he's at a poor team. So there is more defensive work to be done there. So as we are usually on the front foot, not including that West Brom game, he's going to be a far more efficient attacker than what I was meaning to say yesterday, in terms of him just being like a defensive winger. But even if I say defensive winger, I don't mean just someone that just sits back and counters when necessary. I think more of like a Perisic. If you know of him, you should know of him, Croatian legend. I think more of him, where he's got the capability to play out and out wing, but he will play the defensive wing back if necessary, and he's not a bad comparison to make it. Yeah, Bobby, yeah. He did swiftly delete it, man, one more time, because you know what, as they always say, once it's on the internet, it's out there, my man. It's out there. So he would have probably been told by the club, hey man, listen, you can't put that out there. But it is what it is, you know what I mean? We know he's in the building. So yeah, just a clarification on that. And look, we've got him down. We need to get a few more in. One that is obviously on the thumbnail is Roland Sallai. And everyone should know who he is. A very experienced Hungarian international. He's bun up England a couple of times. Europa League goals last season, player of the game performances last season, and he's currently at Freiburg. And according to a report via Graham Smith from the YEP, is that we were in for him earlier this summer. Deal wasn't even close to being, being done, but apparently an avenue has opened up to get a deal done. Now, look, if it's not Roland Sallai, if it's someone like this, that would be a massive coup for Leeds United. Roland Sallai in the Championship, he would get his numbers up. And that is a statement signing. Very experienced player, but a very good age as well. Let me just get his age here. 27 years old. And for me, he has got the capabilities of playing in the Premier League now. Maybe not for a top 10 side, maybe for a middle of the road to, I think like a Crystal Palace, Fulham. I think he would go to one of those clubs. So for me, if I think he's got the capabilities for that kind of move, I definitely think he's got the capabilities of playing for Leeds United in the Championship. Now, what I would say, Luke, how do you not know about Sallai, man? Oh man. Well, listen, it's cool. It's cool. What I would say in regards to this is that we know we've got to recruit in a few areas. We know that we've got spots to fill, but I'm saying this. I know everyone's going to say both. I get it, But if we was to choose out of signing a central midfielder and an attacking right midfielder who is more than capable of playing in the 10, which he could easily do here, especially at championship level, I'm taking Salai over another central midfielder just purely for me because we got Ampadu in there, we got Gruev in there, we've got Ruffwell, and we've also got the emergence of Charlie Crew. I think that if we were to get Salai, we'd be more than covered. And plus, as well, when you're getting in someone of that quality, it automatically makes your central midfielders a bit better as well because they won't have to do so much because you've got a player of this ilk on the pitch. Two-footed winger, eye for a goal, definitely a creative force. Man, if we could get this done, this would be lovely. Yeah, exactly. Love watching him at the Euros. Yeah. Salah got 8 goals in the Bundesliga from the wing. And I always do this kind of calculation. It's not accurate by any means, but if you get 8 goals in the Bundesliga, I'm thinking you can get double figures in the championship for me. That's what I'd say. Daniel is saying what position, ask him, sorry, what position does he play? He is a right winger, but plays in the 10 as well. So if he's got the capabilities to play in the 10, that's ticking another box for us, isn't it? Because we do need someone else to replace that Jorginho output. Don't know if he's not going to be that kind of ball carrier, even though he can carry the ball, but he's a different kind of creative force, but more physical as well. Um, this is it, Gary. This is it, Gavin. And just in comparison to Lubicic, he has also got just a year left on his deal. So that makes me think that he could possibly be done at a cheaper price. But you know where we've been talking about Lubicic and them possibly wanting 6.8 million euros, which I think is a little high for a Bundesliga 2 player with 1 year left, who's not really that high a reputation. If you're saying 6.8 for Salai or anything around that, get it done. Get it done because he could be the difference between you finishing second, third. He's that kind of player at this level, 100%. So we'll wait and see if there's any legs to this one. I would love this one to happen, really would. This would be an absolutely quality signing. The makeup of the team looks completely different straight away. And I got to say, Dan James would be on edge because if you're getting in Salah on a permanent deal, which we know Daniel Farker prefers, I think he starts ahead of Dan James on the right. I do. I think he outmuscles Dan James. And look, this is nothing against Dan James. We need competition. We saw it last season. The best, we had that right wing competition was beautiful. If Dan James was playing well, he kept the shirt. If he fell off a bit or got injured, Nonto comes in. He's trying to keep the shirt. You need that competition. So I would absolutely love for that competition to have. And we know with DJ as well, he will have a few quiet games where something isn't quite clicking for him if the pace and power isn't working. So why not get a Saline to come in? Absolutely lovely. Look, yeah, I'm inside. I did see that, but it's not something that's been picked up by anyone very reputable for me. So I'm not really going to speak on Manor Solomon. But again, I don't think Danny Farker would like that because I think it would be a loan. It wouldn't be a permanent deal. So until there's a little bit more concrete links to that one, I'm just going to leave that. I'm going to park that one for now. Luke T here saying it's such a nice feeling when a signing just comes out of nowhere. Yeah, it is. It is. And look, and that's the best way for the 49ers. And this is why I've been saying it, as frustrating as it's been, they still have time to turn this around. And they've already started one. Imagine if they do this one as well and get a fullback. Then they've completely turned it around for me. Because then that would be your 22 senior players. That's your squad. You don't need any more than 22 without making someone unhappy. And I think you pretty much have 2 players in every position from there. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Deshaun, we need competition, so I'm all for it. Yeah, because I always get these questions in the comments as well, like the one uh for Ramazani. Well, if he comes in, what happens to Nonto? What happens to James? James, what happens is the competition gets fierce and everyone has to work extremely hard to keep the shirt. That's what happens. I think you've got to have more than the first 11 people. You need depth and you need quality in depth. So look, we'll see if anything goes further with Roland Sallai. But yes, please get that one done. One that isn't going to get done, and I'm quite glad and I haven't made this a secret, people, is Jack Clark. It looks like he could be going to Ipswich Town. And if you look at the fee there, Keith Downey from Sky Sports is saying it could be around 15 million with add-ons. Look, Ipswich Town are building a real good bounce back team if they get relegated. If they manage to keep a lot of the players that they've bought, they are going to be absolutely odds on favorite to win the championship if they get relegated. The team is if it's built to finish 17th, isn't it? Quite honestly, they're not signing any players that are the sprinkle of stardust to help elevate them at the table. They're hoping to stay up, and I completely get it. That should be the aim for a team that's been out the Premier League for as long as they have. But yeah, Jack Clark could be going to Ipswich Town. But yeah, that kind of money, I've already said, spread it around the continent, get the gems from the continent, and go from there. We've got enough homegrown talent in the team. We've got no issues with homegrown players being, in the squad. Go get the stardust from Europe and abroad, South America. Deshaun saying, I think they stay up personally. Yeah. I mean, listen, Deshaun, they very well could stay up. Yeah, I'm just talking about because the team is, top end championship. But if Everton continue the way they've been, trending the last feels like 20 years since Tim Cahill left, then yeah, they very well could stay up, and more power to him. Honestly, more power to him. Um, Yeah, Wilfie is saying things are moving, but we need another play quickly on the back of Ramazani and then another two next week. 100% Wolf. That's what I've been saying. That's what I was saying yesterday. As happy as I am with Ramazani coming in, don't let that cloud everything. We still need another three bodies in, or three bodies in to solidify this squad, especially if you're talking the quality that we're bringing in. So yeah, my patience is stretching a little more now. I'm a little bit more patient, but obviously we need to get things moving. Um, someone earlier in the chat, I think they said he loaned Joe Rodon, so why wouldn't he loan Manor Solomon? But it's two completely different things. Joe Rodon, we didn't have any quality central defenders. With the wings, we've already seen it with Jaden Anthony before. He doesn't want loan players. And I mean, he said this himself. He would much prefer permanent transfers. So that's the reason why there's big differences with the loans. Even with Joe Ruffwell, who's come in, he's seen as a squad player, not an out and out starter. And you got to think if Manor Solomon was to come down to the championship, he'd be looking for guaranteed minutes as a loan player. So and he won't get that, which has been made very clear this summer with our transfer strategy. Okay, so we'll move on from Jack Clark. Roland Sallai, what's next? What's next? Oh, just rival watch as we do just before we get into our game against Sheffield Wednesday or the preview. Joe Worrell, who's been at Nottingham Forest forever, is close to joining Burnley. As you know, Burnley are losing Dara O'Shea and a few other players, so he's coming in. They've just signed Bashir Humphrey as well, who we would link to. But yeah, Joe Worrell for me, yes, he's a championship defender all day, never a Premier League defender. And if you look at Nottingham Forest, the way they talk about him so, thank you for the championship years. Premier League was too much for you. Wish you well in the future. And I likened him last summer. I remember speaking about him last summer in pre-season. He looked like a younger Liam Cooper to me. So yeah, he will be useful at this level. But yeah, Joe Worrell after Burnley. There we go. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Okay. Okay. Oh no, you know what? Shall we do let's do the shirt first. Let's do the new shirt first. Uh there we go. Right. Thoughts and feelings, people. Thoughts and feelings. What we saying? Obviously, we've kind of seen the shirt already, as it got leaked a long time ago. In terms of this third shirt, I absolutely love it. I think it's definitely one I'm going to pick up. Goes with a few things that I've already got, especially hats and all that stuff, and a nice Willie Oakley hat I've got. So yeah, I do like this one a lot. What's everyone saying? Look, you put your comments in after. It's cool. It's cool. Gavin here saying, nice shirt. Yeah. Andy saying it looks like a keeper kit. Tamsterman saying nah. Luke is saying I like it. Yeah, Bobby, I'm not going to put that one up. I'll leave you to speak with the rest of the people from the area. Sean here saying didn't like it at first, but it's growing on me. Yeah, yeah. I think it looks real smart. I do. I like the design and everything about it. We saw it anyway. It was already leaked quite some time ago, but yeah, I think it looks like a smart shirt. So yeah, I'm going to give this one out of 10. I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to give it a solid 7. I'll give it a 7. 7.5. Let me go. 7.5. We do halves in this one. But yeah, so there we are with this. Yeah, okay. Sheffield Wednesday. Let's get onto the football now. Speculation. Something that is actually happening is a game tomorrow night. Yorkshire Derby, Sheffield Wednesday away. And again, we've spoken about this. Daniel Farker's spoken about we do need to start getting wins. He knows that. We've got 2 wins in 13. It's time to get this season up and running. It's time to take lift off, get 3 points on Friday, give everyone a good feeling going into the weekend, and announce some new signings to go with it. But people, when we're talking Yorkshire derbies, I know things are different in that there's a different atmosphere. The Sheffield Wednesday fans will be up for it. But when you look at the Sheffield Wednesday team, and you've got to look at it through these lens, low, you know, Windass, decent. Bannon, I mean, how is he still ticking? Watch him now score a long range screamer. Now I've said that. You look at the team of Sheffield Wednesday, and it's down to their coach as to why they won that hot run last year. This is not a good team, people. Not a good team. So we went to West Brom last week. Daniel Farker was scared in that game. We went there to not lose. This one, we need to go there and put our imprint on the game and and take charge. Take charge of the game. Let us dictate the flow of the pace of the game, and do not sit back against Sheffield Wednesday. Go for the win. Go for the win. Yeah, Bobby. Lee saying got to beat these lot. I'll be saying has to be a win. It has to be. I mean, imagine we come out of this with a draw. Is everyone going to be happy with yet another draw? Are we just going to draw our way, to the title, or mid table? What are we doing here? We've got to start getting wins on board here, and it starts here. Look, it's going to be a completely different game to the Sunderland game where they battered them 4-0. And Danny Farker kind of alluded to this, and it's true. They're not going to be the same team that played against Sunderland. The coach will have worked with them. The players will want to atone for that kind of performance. So it's going to be completely different. So it's not a case of, well, look what Sunderland did to him earlier in the week. Why couldn't we do this? People adjust. People do things differently in the next game. So I'm not even taking that into account. But we should be beating this team, people. We should. Man said Jeremy Beadle in goal. Yeah, drawing on together. Yeah. I know Deshaun. Yeah, I have to rub my eyes every time I see Banner's name, but you get that in this league, don't you? You get some players and you thought, damn, they're still playing. You know what I mean? So for me, I've done this already with you before, but I thought I'd do it again. Let me just get my preferred lineup. This is how I would line up for this game. And yeah, 3 points is a must, 100% no. Melier in goal, build off the clean sheet of last week with the same back line as well. Furpo, Strout, Roden, Bogle. Let's go with that again. Let's keep that defensive unit ticking over. Ampadu, one defensive midfielder, please. Just one. We don't need that double against that Sheffield Wednesday team. We don't. Put Ampadu in that spot to hold and make and keep everything together. I'm starting Rothwell in this one for the central midfield creativity. When we do get our numerous set pieces that we seem to get every game, we're going to have a good delivery from Rothwell, maybe even pop up for a goal on the counter, maybe off the edge of the box. Rothwell can be there to be that guy. And I mean, this is self-explanatory. Last week, I had Aronson in there just because of West Brom and the way they play. I would go with Joel Peru in this one. Keep him in that shadow striker role. Joseph up top. Time to net one, Joseph, but you got to get service too. And that's where Nonto and Dan James come into it on the wings. What say you? Lee saying I'd play Aronson for Peru. Okay. What are we saying here? Oh, Lee Marshall is also saying 3-0. Okay, you're going 3-0 to us, yeah. So I mean, people, what's that there? Yeah. Chopper Dave from Rothwell up the spine has to be more forward. Yeah. The disconnect last week in the game against West Brom was a disgrace. The chasm between the defense and attack wasn't good enough. And we need more bodies as well when we're on the counter. When we do get the ball, there was hardly any bodies in the box, people. We literally had 6 touches in West Brom's box last week. That will not suffice this week. We need to get back onto being Leeds United, being on the front foot and taking the game to Sheffield Wednesday, which we are more than capable. Sean saying that's the team I'd pick. Nabino saying back to basics, KG, I like it. Kelvin also, though, saying Aronson in the 10, swapping with Nonto through the game. Okay. And John saying 2-1 or 3-1. Matt C saying tuck shop Joseph. Yeah. Listen, give him the opportunities, man. He didn't have a sniff against West Brom. Give him some more opportunities. I'm sure he'll net in this one. He loves the big games and he'll prove it tomorrow night. So yeah, listen, people. What say you for the scoreline, and then we'll head on out of here, and hopefully we'll announce Ramazani later on today. What say you? I'm gonna go. I think Sheffield Wednesday will score. I think they'll be up for it, but I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Leeds win. Let's go 2-1 Leeds win. Uh, yeah, 3-1 Leeds. Luke T saying 3-1. Andy saying 3-1. Gavin saying 2-3. 1-0 to us. Yep. James saying 2-1. Matthew also going for that. Chris is going for a 0-0. Oh boy. Bobby saying 2-1 Leeds. Chopper Dave saying 2-1. Yep. Philip saying Joel Pro hat trick 4-1 to Leeds. Okay. Andy Robertson saying 3-4 Leeds. Yeah. And listen, it's not out the realm of possibility for Peru to score as well. He needs one to get his, to get his season up and running, get the confidence on his, and that monkey off his back. Because we know with Joel Peru, the confidence needs to be there with this player. But yeah, he's more than capable of scoring one at Hillsborough. Definitely more than capable. But you got to show your capabilities, Joel Peru. And that's why I keep you in the side. All right. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. But it'd be interesting to see how Farker lines up. I wouldn't put it past him to do the double pivot again away from home with not Ampadu and Gruev playing together again, with it being two defensive midfielders. Unlike the game against Portsmouth, where Gruev had a license to roam forward, he probably won't get that again. But we shall see tomorrow night, people. We shall see. So yeah, listen, people. Let me just see. Gavin just put something in the chat there. Yeah, I've seen this, Gavin. Once again, I don't know about if we've got a sell-on clause. If that deal does happen to Celtic, I believe it's going to be, well, it's reportedly around 6.5 or 8.5. We sold him for 1 million, didn't we, or around that? If we do have a sell-on clause, it will be reported. But if not, it just shows how bad business was done before, and it's as simple as that with that one. But listen, people, that is it for the show. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop your comments below on anything discussed today, score predictions, everything else. And I'll see you in the next video, people. Peace out.